The Smash roster is one of my favourite parts of the entire Smash series, with the inclusions of new fighters every installment. Never knowing who's going to make it into Smash 6, some fighters don't make it in, either being deconfirmed from Mii costumes, assist trophies, or other fighters from a third-party developer taking the spot, as well as a few other reasons. Welcome to A New Foe Has Appeared, where we talk about ideas for fighters that could possibly happen in Smash 6, if not the future. I'm your host BB8 from BB8's House. As always, let's get into it. Up next. That's right, Delphox from the Pokémon franchise is who we are going to talk about today. You're probably wondering, isn't Braixen the fighter of Pokémon Tournament? Well, yes, Braixen is the fighter in Pokémon Tournament. But why did I put Delphox in A New Foe Has Appeared episode over Braixen? You're probably curious about, is that the fact that I do think Delphox does have an interesting moveset in the games to actually work with for A New Foe Has Appeared episode. And especially since I have already done Decidueye in A New Foe Has Appeared, as sort of a what if to if another region starter got in over the other. So this is a what if Delphox got in instead of Greninja. Even though I personally prefer Greninja as a character, I am curious to see how Delphox would work, since this character can actually cast spells. And since we have had characters within the Smash roster to cast spells, such as characters from Fire Emblem and Kid Icarus, I thought, why not have a Pokemon that can cast spells? And with the spell mechanic Pokemon, I landed with Delphox. And I know I've already talked about Cinderace from Sword and Shield as the fire type, but I do think Delphox is interesting to work with for a moveset. And without further ado, let's get into it, shall we? So for Delphox's moveset would actually end up being accurate to the anime, not the games. Even though Delphox does actually use these movesets from the games, Delphox wouldn't use them like in the games, but the animations of Delphox using them would be like they are in the anime, not the games. But the final smash though, I will get to soon. But I will explain the whole final smash part in a second. So for the neutral special, we have Mystic Fire. Delphox creates a fireball and sends it flying forward a short distance forward. If it makes contact with an opponent, it creates a flame pillar. The blast also deals damage to opponents while lowering the damage and knockback of their specials for 5 seconds. The side special, we have Flame Wheel. Delphox makes a large circle of fire with its wand, and then it sends it forward. This wheel of fire is slow moving, but can trap opponents in the fire as it slowly travels forward for a few seconds, dealing a string of damage to trapped opponents. The up special, being Psychic, is where Delphox shoots straight upward quickly, engulfed in an aura of psychic and fire hybrid energy emitting from its wand. Opponents caught in the psychic wave are dragged upward with Delphox and receive constant damage while they are going upward, and the psychic damage doesn't deal any knockback, but for a temporary amount of time, any opponent who was caught in the psychic attack will have reversed controls. And this move would work in a similar fashion to Mewtwo's moveset, but a bit less powerful, and would end up having different behaviors compared to Mewtwo's up special. Its down special would end up being Future Sight. Delphox shoots a short range of purple mist forward, and if you hold down B to aim where the mist goes, the mist would end up traveling through walls and platforms. And if the mist hits any opponents, they will not take damage or knockback right away. Instead, after 10 seconds, the opponent would receive 12% damage, along with a 50-50 chance of becoming stunned for a few seconds. You can only use Future Sight every 10 seconds, however, it doesn't have much range. And the move would also be in a similar fashion to Mithra's Foresight, but with a different behavior. Now, with the part that starts to get odd is being the final smash, being Blast Burn, because Delphox can use Blast Burn in the games, but we don't actually see Delphox use Blast Burn in the anime. So it is gonna get a bit complicated here, because only Charizard and Incineroar have used Blast Burn in the anime. So if you think about it, Blast Burn would end up being sort of original to Delphox, making its resemblance from the anime and not the games. Is where Delphox's eyes glow fiery as its wand fire grows stronger and stronger. Delphox lifts the wand upwards and summons 5 pillars of fire to sprout around Delphox, taking up as much space as half the length of Jigglypuff. These pillars of fire work much just like Entei and Ho-Oh's Pokeball moves do. After about 6 seconds of the fire pillars being in place and dealing damage to any opponent unlucky enough to get caught in them, the fire would go out and the opponents would receive knockback as Delphox goes back to the fight. And like I just said, the final smash would be accurate to the anime and not the games. Even though we don't see Delphox using it in the anime, it would be accurate to Charizard and Incineroar using it. For the alts and the Kirby Hat, the first alt would be normal, blue would end up being based on Greninja, green would be based on Chestnut, grey would be based on shiny Delphox, black being based on shiny Greninja, brown based on shiny Chestnut, an alternate blue being based on Xerneas, and red being based on Yveltal. And the Kirby Hat is where Kirby gains a copy of Delphox's ears and wand, and would end up getting the copy ability of Mystic Fire. For the classic mode route, it would be called the Legion of the Fox Sorcerer. This classic mode has Delphox face on opponents from the Pokemon series, but Magic has added a twist to the stages, and throughout the battle, a variety of weird things can happen throughout the battle. So, working the way up from Kanto to Kalos as you progress through the classic mode route. But unfortunately, Alola, Gala, and Paldea are not represented in the classic mode route. So for round 1, we would have Pikachu, Jigglypuff, Mewtwo, Eevee from A New Foes Appeared 46, and Gengar from A New Foes Appeared 48, fighting on the Saffron City stage with on and off electricity, fire, and ice effects on the stage, referring to Articuno, Zapdos, and Moltres. Round 2 being Pichu fighting on Bell Tower with fire and flood effects, referring to Ho-Oh and Lugia. Round 3 being Plusle and Minun from A New Foes Appeared 3, God of War from an upcoming New Foes Appeared episode, and Hoenn Pokemon Trainer from an upcoming New Foes Appeared episode, fighting on the Hoenn Pokemon League stage with Earthquake, Flood, and Wind effects, referring to the legendary trio of Hoenn being Groudon for the Earthquake, Kyogre for the Flood, and Rayquaza for the Wind. Round 4 being Sinnoh Pokemon Trainer from New Foes Appeared 28, Lucario, and Darkrai from New Foes Appeared 56, fighting on the Spear Pillar stage with Wind effects. Round 5 being Unova Pokemon Trainer from an upcoming New Foes Appeared episode, fighting on the Unova Pokemon League with Dark effects. And for round 6 would end up being Greninja fighting on Prism Tower with lightning effects, referring to Prism Tower being Clement's Pokemon Gym in the anime. And for the final round, it will be a randomly occurring boss of either Xerneas or Yveltal fighting on the new stage, being Team Flare Headquarters, which I will get to in a sec. And to add to the classic mode like I did in A New Foes Appeared Octoling, is I'm bringing the boss feature, because there was no Pokemon related boss in the game that I could have used. I could have brought back Rayquaza from Brawl, but I wanted to go with something entirely original instead of bringing back a boss we have already had in the past. So in Delphox's classic mode, you will take on either Xerneas or Yveltal, which would end up being picked out at random every time you attempt Delphox's classic mode route. So for Xerneas, the Xerneas fight won't be difficult compared to Ganon. Xerneas will run around the stage like an actual deer, or Xerneas from the anime. Xerneas may use Geomancy to heal itself over time, meaning that Xerneas is the first boss that can heal itself as the battle progresses. And Xerneas will perform attacks with its antlers, which will bury you in the ground if you are not careful. And for Yveltal, the Yveltal fight is a bit more difficult than Xerneas. Yveltal may fly around like Rathalos. Yveltal does have a vulnerability spot similar to Ganon, meaning that you can attack anywhere on Yveltal's body. It's sort of like Ganon in a way, because Ganon, of course, can't be attacked anywhere apart from Ganon's tail. And the moves Yveltal would use throughout the boss fight would end up being Hyper Beam, Shadow Ball, Confusion, which would temporarily make you dizzy when used. Outrage will only occur once throughout the fight, and that is when you attack Yveltal enough that it will use Outrage only one time in the battle. And its most OP move being Oblivion Wing. For the victory theme, poses, and the Punch-Out title, the victory theme would be the Pokemon victory theme, but with a more of a Harry Potter soundtrack feel to it, just to stay true to Delphox as a Pokemon. For the defeat pose, Delphox would clap for the winner. The first victory pose would have Delphox casting multiple Mystic Fire Blasts around itself before posing. Victory pose 2 is where Delphox uses Psychic to levitate and then gives the camera a sly look. The victory pose 3 is where Delphox swings its wand around like a baton and then smirks at the camera. And the Punch-Out title would be the Sorcerer of Inferno. For the Amiibo, Delphox's Smash Render would have it in a Sorcerer's pose where it has its wand in hand and it's about to cast a spell. And on the Amiibo, it would have a fire effect behind it in order to make Delphox stand out a bit. Similar to what I did with Silver the Hedgehog's Amiibo and put like a blue aura behind it, and with Delphox I put like a fiery aura as a backdrop. And for the compatible games, Delphox would have a lot of games compatible with it. Some of these I haven't done concept videos for yet, but let me read them out to you. In Super Smash Bros, you would tap Delphox in to summon a fighter that you can train. For Pokemon Unlimited, like I have said with Darkrai, you tap Delphox in to battle it, and then you have to tap the Amiibo again once Delphox is weak enough in order to fight and catch the Pokemon. Once you have done that, you have the Pokemon stored within the Amiibo, but of course you can't have both a fighter and a Pokemon stored within the same Amiibo, because both Super Smash Bros. And Pokemon would have read and write capabilities. Decidueye Wrath of the Forest, the link is in the description below if you want to go and check that concept video out, is where you tap in Delphox to summon a Fennekin companion that can help you throughout the game. But like with Decidueye, the Wrath of the Forest, where you tap in the Decidueye Amiibo, you can only summon it once an hour, so once it's fainted, you can't use your Fennekin companion for another hour. Greninja, the Shadows of Kalos, being a concept video I'm still working on at the moment, is where you tap in Delphox to unlock Delphox themed gear for Kitsuninja, who is a brand new original character from Greninja, the Shadows of Kalos. Plusle and Minun, Attack in the City, link is also in the description below if you want to check that out, is where you tap in Delphox in to unlock Delphox themed color palettes for Plusle and Minun's Super Suit. For Pichu's Adventure, I've still not done a concept video for it yet, is where you type in Delphox to unlock a Delphox themed skateboard. And the untitled Delphox spin-off, which I will do eventually, is still not known. And this amiibo would be compatible with other games as well. The stage would end up being Team Flare headquarters. The stage was really hard to choose, only because we already have two Kalos stages in the game, being Prism Tower and Kalos Pokemon League. So this time I went with Team Flare headquarters, being the villain base from Pokemon X and Y, releasing in 2013. The facility is constructed around and inside the ultimate weapon from Ancient Kalos. The secret entrance to the base can be found in the northwest corner of Geosenge Town. When the player first visits the town, however, it cannot be identified as such initially, and thus cannot be used to access the facility until the ultimate weapon has been remotely activated from Lysandre's labs, and after Lysandre is defeated for the final time, the base is destroyed, rendering it inaccessible. But in Smash, you will start off outside of Team Flare's headquarters, but you will fly into the HQ as the battle progresses. For the music, I went with Trainer Battle from Pokemon X and Y, being a brand new remix, Wild Encounter, Rival Battle, Gym Leader Battle, Gym Leader Remix being the successor Karina Battle, Team Flare Battle, Lysandre Battle, Legendary Battle, the Kanto Legendary Battle, the Elite Four, and the Champion Battle from X and Y being a brand new remix. For the spirits, we have Delphox being the fighter spirit, Ash Greninja, Chestnut, Xerneas, Yveltal, Zygarde, Team Flare Grunt, Lysandre, Dedenne, Diancie, and Volcanion. For the reveal trailer starts in a Pokemon Stadium, already giving away what franchise the fighter is from. You see two trainers having a battle with each other. One trainer throws out a Pokeball with a Greninja in it. The other throws a Pokeball with Decidueye from a Euphosia 9 in it as well. Both Greninja and Decidueye have a Pokemon battle, and with Greninja losing due to Decidueye's type advantage, until a mysterious figure comes in and uses Mystic Fire from the audience, which does damage Decidueye critically due to the Grass Fire type advantage. And then the mysterious cloaked fox-like figure appears on the battleground and uses Psychic on Decidueye in order to take it out. Decidueye then faints as the mysterious figure looks back at Greninja, as Greninja looks concerned to who this mysterious figure is, and it is revealed to be Delphox ignites the way. And then it shows gameplay of both Greninja and Delphox teaming up together, and once the gameplay is over, it then shows another cinematic with the Pokemon battle coming to a close, and as another trainer steps in as they see the Smash invite in Delphox's hand, and the trainer pulls out Chestnut as the trailer is about to end. A duel battle with Delphox and Greninja versus Chestnut begins, as the screen fades white and says Super Smash Bros. Times Pokemon X and Y. So guys, what did you think of Delphox? Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, like this video, and turn your notification bell on so you don't miss another New Foe Has Appeared episode like this one. I mainly did Pokemon as a tie-in to Scarlet and Violet, of course, because Scarlet and Violet is out the week I upload this, so I thought I would do another Pokemon to tie in with Scarlet and Violet, even though I don't know much about the new Pokemon to make a moveset about it. But when I play Scarlet and Violet around Christmas time, hopefully I can get a moveset together for a Scarlet and Violet Pokemon that I will do in a New Foe Has Appeared in 2023. And I will see you all in a future episode of a New Foe Has Appeared. BB8 out.